Okay, look, I have tried 9 times to get through this review. And I don't know if it's because I was so frustrated with this flick while I was watching it. I don't know, but I just can't focus on what I want to say about this fucking movie. But okay, anyways, you know what? Roll the fucking intro and we're going to bang through this. Welcome to Happywax TV. Okay, hopefully the 10th time is the money, okay? Because I'm not filming this again. So if I get off topic, I'm sorry, but Jesus Christ, I've been sitting here for almost an hour trying to talk about this fucking movie and I just can't seem to do it. I was so frustrated with this fucking movie because I watched the trailer for it a while ago and I thought, this movie looks fucking fantastic. I need to watch this. And then I finally got the movie, and I saw the runtime, and all of a sudden red flags started going off. I'm like, 2 hours and 20 minutes? Are you kidding me? Oh, all right. Let's watch it anyways. And I did. And I was right. You know, I said before I sat down, there's no way this movie's going to have enough meat in it to carry it for that long, and it doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, I understand that it's a crowd-funded movie, and that's where they got most of the money from. I don't know exact numbers. I'm not sure how much came from producers, and other ones came from, fans that wanted to see this movie made. So I don't know if they felt that they had to put every fucking thing that they shot in this movie on the screen. I mean, that's what the Blu-ray's for. You can put deleted scenes and extra scenes on the Blu-ray as a special feature. You don't need to include them all in the movie, and that's what it felt like. And it's too bad because this really is not that bad of a movie. I know it's got kind of, the reviews for it on IMDb and other sources are kind of all over the place. But honestly, I mean, I wouldn't lie to you. I don't owe these guys anything. This isn't that bad of a movie. I mean, the special effects are fucking banging for this style of movie. Like the robots in this, they look killer. The special effects are not the issue here, okay? It's the fucking length of this movie and then the characters that are in this movie. Basically what it is, in a nutshell, the CIA is kind of teaming up with this robotics company to do some testing on these 4 robots because they want to get this contract with the government. So they drop them in, I think it's in Cambodia. They drop them in to where this kind of drug manufacturing hotspot is taking place, and they're going to test them there illegally, right? Well, they drop them into this village. As they drop them in, I think it's only the one robot kind of gets damaged on the way down, number 4. So he kind of goes rogue and starts taking over the other 3. But also at the same time in this village, there's 6 kind of missionary doctors that are there helping. It's a third world country, right? So they're helping out. So they all kind of get caught in this crossfire between these drug people and the robots, and they just mow the fucking village down. And I'm telling you, the first act of this movie, when you're learning all this, is fantastic. There's some good gore for the most part, some good face ripping, but this one robot kind of becomes like the Terminator or Cyberdyne, right? He becomes self-aware. And then he wants to fucking keep learning and learning and learning. So he starts taking and downloading off of these other robots. And then there's these 3 techies and then a military person who's kind of the muscle off in the nearby city who's kind of monitoring this and controlling these robots for the most part. So you have their scenes as well. But they lose control of this one robot, and he starts downloading this stuff. And it's just... it's when we hit the second act is when this movie becomes a mess because it's so long and it honestly becomes silly. It really does. Because at the end of the day, what happens is the villagers get massacred, okay? So there's like 8 of them left over. There's this Mason guy who was like an ex-special ops agent or something like that who just happens to be in this village. And then there's these doctors and then a few of the villagers, okay? Well, they kind of gather all together and they have a couple wounded and they need to get out of these villages, so they're trying to get away from these robots. Well, these robots are supposed to be like super fucking robots, that can track and kill and it's like, listen, for the amount of screaming and yelling and crying and screaming and yelling that this group does, I'm telling you, man, I don't know if these robots have a stormtrooper sensor in them because Jesus Christ, they can't hit fucking anything half the time with their guns. And they're tracking these people, and it's almost like they can't fucking find them half the time. Like, I'm like, what? Like, they do eventually find them over and over and over again, because they find them, then they escape. Then they find them, then they escape. But it just seems to take them forever for them to find these groups. And all they do is scream and yell and cry, and it's like they're not quiet at all. Like, Christ, there's one scene where they're in this I don't know what it is, like a castle-y type compound, and they're literally screaming back and forth at each other, seeing if they're okay. And these robots are like, beep, beep, cannot find them, cannot. I'm like, what? They're screaming for fuck's, like, I could find them. My fat ass could, like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, there's so much potential here with this movie. But you don't care about these characters at all. They're so stupidly written. And I did a little research on the writer and the director, who's the same person, Mark Toa. I think that's how you say his name. I get it. This might be his first movie, and for a first movie, this movie's pretty fucking good. But I promise you, you will not care about anyone in this fucking movie. No one. Because they're all annoying. If they're not screaming, they're crying. If they're not crying, they're yelling. And then this Mason guy tries to defend, this group against these robots. And he's wearing flip-flops and shorts. He's got sticks and a rock. Like, yeah, he has guns sometimes, but, he's these Terminator-style fucking robots, and he can defend them or beat them off with a stick and a rock. And he seems to have an endless, sorry, no, I'm stuttering, I'm getting so worked up. An endless supply of fucking these little landmines that he can throw. It's like, come on. Oh, listen, I'm just giving my opinion. They should have fucking easily shaved a half an hour to 40 minutes off this movie. Had maybe, 4 or 5 less chase scenes, and just had more battle scenes where they were defending, like fighting these robots, and it would have been better. Like, the scenes when the robots are in them are great. Okay, the action in this movie is great, but it's the silliness in between the scenes. And I don't know, you can defend it and call it character building, but it's not. It's just silly, stupid dialogue. And it just makes these robots look stupid. It does. They're supposed to be these beasts. And then, they're trying to shut this one number 4 robot off, and it keeps overriding them. And it doesn't just happen once or twice. No, 3, 4, 5 fucking times. Like, I think there's 4 scenes where they literally have to rip the fucking wires out of the computer system so this robot can't download their software. I swear to God, at least 3 times, maybe 4. Like, how many times can you rip the fucking wires out of this fucking computers? Oh, Jesus Christ. And did I mention that he fights these robots in shorts and sandals? Did I mention that? I think I did, but I don't know. Listen, there's good with this movie too. I'm telling you, the special effects in this movie are great. Okay, the cinematography is fucking great. It really is. Watch it just for that. I'm recommending that you do watch this movie. You might have to watch it in 2 parts because it's way too fucking long. But I am recommending that you watch this movie. But if you're looking for a well-written story, you're not going to fucking find it. If you want a confusing story that jumps back and forth to the point where your head's going to fucking blow up with stuff that doesn't make sense, then you're in for a treat. But just watch it for the special effects. Listen, if you've seen this movie, and a lot of you, I went on IMDb and there's a lot of reviews. Okay, I wasn't even going to talk about this movie, but I had a bunch of you ask me if I could talk about it and give my opinion. So if you're waiting for me, to give my opinion on whether or not you should watch this flick, I am recommending you watch this movie. Okay, but just take it with a grain of salt, because after the first act, the second and third act get kind of silly, and you'll see what I mean when you watch it. Okay, it's all over the place, and it's just these robots must not have a hearing mechanism, because there's a lot of screaming and yelling and crying, and they can't hear fucking nothing. I'm like, what? Anyways, okay. Monsters of Man, I am going to give it a 5 out of 10. Okay, I'm not going to flunk it. The special effects alone, seriously, are worth to watch this movie. But I don't know, man. I don't know, like, who the fuck edited this movie, but you could have easily trimmed a half an hour out of this fucking movie. Like, you just took the audience right out of it, because they're not going to care about anybody. The only thing they're going to want to see is, you know, they're going to be on the side of the fucking robots, which are supposed to be the bad characters in this movie, just so they can kill everybody to get to the fucking end credits. So, anyways, fuck. Monsters of Man, watch it. 5 out of 10 for me. If you've seen it, let me know what you think, guys. And until next time, stay scared.